We live in an age where there are an infinite number of choices for buyers, which makes the profession of selling a lot more challenging. So this is also a change driver. As customer expectations rise, salespeople need to realize that and catch up with the buyer. And when it comes to the information age, in the past, salespeople were the providers of information for the customer. And their role was more to deliver knowledge to the customer. But now with the information age, the customer has all the knowledge, so the role of the salesperson has changed, and the salesperson is now forced into the role of the trusted advisor for the customer, which means that the selling skills have changed, and the salesperson needs to start by understanding where the customer is in terms of speed of information, and needs to establish trust, because without trust, there's no reason to continue the relationship. Now, another way to look at it is companies talk about customer engagement. And engagement, the word comes from the French, engager, which means a promise to marry. So customer and salesperson, they are bound by common interests. The customer has the need, the salesperson has the potential solution. So the sales process is really a process where buyer and seller walk on the road of agreement together. So when the salesperson is behind too far from the customer, when the salesperson travels too far behind the customer, there's no sales. If the salesperson is ahead of the customer, there's no sale. They need to walk concurrently, and that's the challenge of selling today, to be in sync with the customer. We live in an age where everything is connected to everything. So we live in an interconnected world where we are driven to what we call co-creation. I'll give you one example. Frito-Lay has created a Super Bowl commercial at the last Super Bowl that was not created by Frito-Lay, it was not created by their ad agency, but by their consumers. So that's a co-creation marketing process. Selling is about co-creation. And the internet makes a lot more connections for us than ever before. But at the same time, the internet creates more disconnects than ever before. So the disconnects are from the fact that our time gets fragmented through emails, through text messages, through voicemail, through the speed of information really fragments our time, and it shortens the attention span of the salesperson, and it makes it more challenging for salespeople to truly connect with the customer. When you get 100 buyers in the room, you probably get 100 complaints about their salespeople. At the same token, if you take 100 salespeople in a room and ask them about their buyers, they will all complain that their customers are the worst. And the frustration comes from the buyer having a need that is not always truly defined. Buyers are always in flux, and a need is not like a statue. A need is like a river. And good salespeople recognize that, and they sync up and they help the customer define and articulate what their true need is. And the best salespeople are not salespeople. They are specialists in helping the customer win. And that's why many companies now use the title Customer Success Specialist. Well, let's start about analyzing where the success of a business comes from. Peter Drucker once said, the purpose of business is to create a customer. And without a customer, you don't have anything. So the role of customer creation is really the salesperson's role. But in order to fulfill that role, the salesperson needs to depend on a structure. And the structure of an organization starts with the company's mission. And the mission is the noble purpose that identifies why do we go to work? What is our noble purpose? Number two, the vision. A vision is something that's aspirational, that defines where we want to be in the future. A mission is inspirational, which spells out what we want to do today. And then you have a value system. You need to spell out to employees, how do we work together? For example, the Ritz-Carlton has a credo that says, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. So that's a core value. Johnson & Johnson does not have a mission statement or a vision statement. They have a credo that's one page, and that one page spells out exactly how employees should work together, how the company interacts with customers, what responsibility they're taking, and how do they establish trust with their customers. I think that there are several goals that salespeople can set for themselves to achieve the top 20% in any organization. And the first rule is to be trustworthy, to never overpromise and underdeliver. But secondly, customers want authenticity. They don't want something fake, they want the real deal. And they want, thirdly, somebody who's committed to help and win, because everybody wants to win. So if the salesperson recognizes those requirements and integrates those requirements in their sales approach, they have a greater chance of being successful. In the 50s, salespeople were trained to verbalize a pitch, and they went through a ritual. So salespeople were thought of as like actors who can deliver the lines, and if they deliver the lines well, they're going to be successful. And also in the 50s, there were a lot of psychology messages, that were directed at the self-talk, so that people had a mantra. For example, when I interviewed W. Clement Stone, he was the founder of Combined Insurance Company. He said, I am happy, I'm healthy, I'm terrific. So he integrated this in every greeting, and he integrated this in his self-talk. And this really comes out from Emil Coué, who came up with the saying, every day and every way I'm getting better and better. So salespeople were trained externally to deliver a script, and they were trained psychologically to reprogram themselves internally by delivering a script to themselves. The problem we have found is it doesn't work anymore. Why doesn't it work anymore? Because people want authenticity. That's why when you look at today, people turn away from packaged advertising. Advertising is shrinking, and YouTube is expanding. YouTube is authentic. Those are real movies from real people, unvarnished, and that's what people want.